Still on justice for mohbad, my people. Hey, make una come out to another one don burst. Una see Wunmi Cynthia Adebanjo for inside this very update, my people. Liam DNA no be Wunmi Cynthia Adebanjo pikin be Liam. Make una come hear the update about the DNA. Everywhere don burst. Hey, wonders wey no go fit ever end na im dey happen like this o. On top of this mohbad justice, DNA is needed. Tani baba baby. My people, make I no take much of una time. Make una come, make una move, follow, watch this one together. But before then, I still remember una humble girl case. I mean, they bring una latest and latest ogbonge tori. If you never subscribe to this channel, please and please subscribe. Click on notification bell so they go notify you anytime we drop tori to be like this. Guys, make we gather, make we watch am as e dey hot.
But believe me, Wunmi would have been the person championing the cost of this DNA to prove to the whole world that Liam actually belongs to Mohbad. I'm telling you, look, she would chest herself a chest out, be going with the result to one TV station to another TV station. Just the way she came out crying some time ago, saying that if the DNA is negative, it means what we've been crying for and what we've been saying, what we've been advocating for, we have been justified. It's as simple as ABC. That look, this girl Wunmi is not trustworthy. This girl Wunmi, she is not faithful. Then we will look for she have to tell us the real father of that boy called Liam. Then through that, an investigation will, the net of the investigation will be open wide. Asking who the father of that boy is. Then what led to the killing of Mohbad? It's as simple as that. I don't know if I've answered your question.
Thank you, sir. But my own question is being direct that as it is now, if the result is negative without any further investigation, with the little investigation that have been done, what will be the possibility of that negative result on the pie of Mo? That's what I'm saying.
Okay, can I answer?
Go on.
Okay. If you could remember, Baba Mohbad already alleged that if they do the DNA, and it will point it to whoever that killed his child. So there must have been some allegations already. And if you remember, when they are coming from the party, from the show, they said when they are arguing about this baby, Wunmi calls somebody before they get home. So all this pointed that there's something behind the curtain that is pulling the trigger. And in Yoruba land, Wunmi is a Yoruba lady. Any woman, it is believed, according to the Yorubas, any woman that is committing or that is engaged in promiscuous, she might kill the husband. It's a general belief in the Yoruba land. So with all this, we can, if the DNA is negative, then there is probable cause of killing Mohbad. That's my own submission.
Let me thank you, TikTok teacher, for giving me that mark. At least you did not mark me 0. Look, if the DNA is negative, it's as simple as ABC. I said, I don't know, let me tell you, I said it before, logic is derived from the law. Logic is derived from the law. Now, you don't need to go to a law school before you understand that ABC is prohibited.
Are you saying the law is derived from logic or logic derived from the law?
The law is derived from logic. Thank you, Papariano. Look, the gentleman that just spoke gave you a basic Yoruba tradition and the way of living and behavior. It's as simple as ABC. This issue of DNA, let me tell you, if Wunmi has integrity to protect, and I said integrity, if Wunmi have integrity to protect, she will not drag the issue of this DNA till now. If Wunmi is sympathetic enough, she will not celebrate 1 year anniversary for Liam whilst mohbad is still lying in the mall. If Wunmi comes from good family that truly respects themselves and in a society, if she come from a good family that truly respects themselves in the society, she will not drag the issue of this DNA till now. If their DNA is negative, I said it, look, it will now, apart from her being exposed that she is not faithful, apart from her being exposed that what the public is crying for or what the public has been saying, it is true. I said it will now help the investigation to expand their wings to the investigation that led to the killing of mohbad. You understand? Mind you, there are some commentary that said mohbad was killed because of Liam. And there is some man name that was being mentioned that he is the true father of mohbad. And you are saying that if then the result come negative, Wunmi is not obliged to show who the father is. Sit down there and be deceiving yourself. You think mohbad case is just an ordinary case. If she will not provide who the father of that boy is, who lose? Number one, she's the one that will lose. Number two, she's the one that will go to jail. And do you know why she will go to jail? Can you unmute and answer me? Look.
Why she would go to jail? As in, because when you said investigation will expand, that doesn't mean if the investigation expand, that doesn't mean is a possible effect. It will be a positive effect that she actually killed, she actually paid more. Fine, I agree with you that investigation will expand, but my question is that because when you said investigation will expand, it's not a possible effect that it will, the end of the investigation will arrive at the end that she was the one that buy more. But I think we both agree on that. I agree with you that investigation will expand, but at the end result of that investigation might not be that she buy more. Do we agree to that? Might, I'm using the word might. It might be and it might not. Do we both agree to that?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I agree with you that the investigation will expand, no doubt about that. But my question is that as at now, as we speak now, because the end of investigation that you keep on mentioning about is not does not really means that it's going to end to what we think we want it. But as at now, if the result is negative, apart from the fact that okay fine, you said there is a man, there is a name of a man mentioned, that doesn't mean that the name of the man that is mentioned will be ordered to do DNA for the child. Do you agree with that also, despite
Oh,
that the
yes.
result is negative?
Oh, yes.
So
Salvatore,
yeah,
you see, I think the best answer to the question you asked, that if a DNA is done on Liam today and the result comes out that the child doesn't belong to Mohbad, that is negative, would that automatically mean that Wunmi killed Mohbad just because DNA shows that that child doesn't belong to Mohbad? No. Whether that child belongs to Mohbad after DNA or it doesn't belong to Mohbad after DNA does not automatically tell us how or what Wunmi did to Mohbad, or whether Wunmi killed Mohbad. Does not automatically tell us whether Wunmi killed Mohbad or not. But we will agree that the result of the outcome of that DNA will at best give light, answers many questions, and expand the scope of the investigation. I think that's the best answer. And we can now say that in the absence of her not doing that DNA, she's obstructing justice. She's not helping the process of investigation. In investigation, don't forget, you as an investigator, you don't know what happened. You want to check A, check B, check C. And you get a lead, and then you follow the lead, and it leads you to somewhere. But if sympathetically, if she was really a caring person or a lovely wife or a good person, in the midst of all of this, all of us we are, is she going to say that she's looking for one particular respect, or she really focus on what concerns everybody, which is the process of investigation, and to indemnify herself in whatever possible way by helping the investigation, unless she herself is not clean? Would you agree that with me? What could be so much special to her than the investigation of Mohbad's death right now? Can you please answer that?
yeah, that's why I said from the beginning that I believe our problem is not doing the DNA, but our problem is making the results public.
Problem. Why
For
should
crying out loud, she's the mother of the child, and she's the only one for now who can protect that child. Let's
no?
forget the fact that the government, the law is there to protect the child. As a mother, it's a civic responsibility by all means to protect her child. So if she's doing, why are you saying no? Is she not the mother? At least if we don't know the father, we know the mother.
My brother,
So
first of all, let's establish that Mohbad killing is one. The issue of DNA is two. Do you think in a respective society that truly respects law and protect its citizen, that stand for equity and stand for justice, do you think Wunmi would have been working freely. Do you think so?
Let's not even focus on what we think now. Okay, anyway, go on. People can think differently.
Can I ask a question, please?
Go ahead, bro.
Can she be forced to
Okay,
do
but
it
there is something
by
that
law?
I have not said, right? It's about this DNA stuff that I feel like before I forget it, okay, which is a very good point for DNA. The homicide case is part of it, the killing of mohbad. But one other concerning case that all of us, I think, should be able to agree to why DNA is really, really needed. It's really, really needed. Okay. Objectively speaking, is to avoid incest. And when I mean by incest, to break it down, to avoid closely related people for not going to marry each other. For example, let's say baby Liam is, let's use the alleged fathers or the alleged Sam Larry, okay? And let's say Sam Larry have another child that happens to be a girl, and that girl happens to go and marry Liam in the future. That's an incest. They're going to have disordered children in the society. Most of these disordered children you have in the society suffering right now is because of the carelessness of some women, because of their own personal interests.
Yeah,
What
that's an
if
interest.
you have the father? What if, if Liam was a female, what if Liam ended up marrying the real father? What if? And that is another incest. So I think any judge, Nigerian people will not accept this. There is no way they want to go. They want to take this case. There's no road that they will not establish the DNA of this child. There is no.
That's what I'm saying. That's the
This
interest of the child.
drag it on and on and on and on. The
That's
DNA
one
of
of the
that
interests
child
of
was
the child.
established.
That's one of
So,
the interests of the child.
so
So that's what I'm
when
saying.
you
Let's
talk,
go through the
okay,
law now. Let's go through the law now. That say, okay, how can it be forced to do the DNA lawfully? That the judge will decide that you have to go and do it. Those are the thinking of the judge. Just like what Obarino just said, and what I just said. Any child would like to know his root, his or her root. Where am I from? Forget about the dad, he's dead. Granddad is dead. Where am I from? Every child has a mother's side, you have a father's side. Either she's young, she has grown up, she wants to know her roots. And this is the best time to know it. So that the mother will not say, okay, you don't have a father, you don't have a mother, you don't have anything. The child will say, ask. So the judge should know that when the child grown up, he wants to know his or her root. So as
And
far as I'm
beside that,
concerned,
Wunmi, if the DNA come out negative, Wunmi will be detached from anything that has to do with Mohbad's property.
forget about that. Forget about it. We're not even going to that. We are talking of the lawfully way now. Forget about the inheritance or property,
You
anything.
can't do that. Maybe
as
you can't do
as
that. Maybe you can't do that.
as it stands now, I don't think there's any mandatory law that will be imposed on her to do the DNA. But
There
if
is.
they were advised to settle out of court, there will always be a clause, which I believe the clause will be the results won't be disclosed publicly. So it's just as simple as that. I'm not saying she won't do DNA. I don't say she must not do DNA. But if they have been advised to settle out of court, then definitely it's gonna be with a clause.
Travel, so I think
What?
there's something that I don't know whether you're a lawyer, but there's something that you're misinterpreting. Okay. Are you misinterpreting those who have the local standing the right to request for a paternity test of a child under 16 and an order being granted by a presiding judge on the case. Do you understand these two things? Before I continue.
I am not a lawyer. I'm just a public commentary like every other person. So, but when you talk of the local standing under their customary marriage that they did, I think under the customary act, I believe the father has the right to demand for DNA, and maybe the family. Yeah, the family in order.
Baba in this case.
Yeah, Baba can demand for DNA under the customary law just for the child to fit into the family, to accept the child into the family. And why it's on that stand is that Baba actually contributes to that marriage, acknowledge that marriage. And when he acknowledged that marriage, the child, his own son, which is late, also acknowledged this child, because it will be difficult to prove that there are instances where his son that is dead denied the child. So in that case, it will be very difficult for the court to pass such sentence for a DNA.
Are you speaking
Because
It's difficult for the
Are you the
court.
court?
There is no.
that's my belief.
Okay, but your belief is absolutely wrong. And this
Okay.
is what you see. I think a lot of people are making this mistake. Okay, that Papa doesn't have right. But anyway, we are learning every day. Papa doesn't have right. Before we debunk this on this platform, what they were arguing before, Papa doesn't have right to request for the DNA of that child. But thank God that the case is in court today. The case has shown that Baba has not just 100% right, but more than 100% right to request for Wunmi to do DNA. Now, when it comes to granting, that is for the judge to grant the DNA to be done. It's a whole different thing. That one is up to the enormous amount of reasons presented before that judge. You travel tour, like I told Top Movie the other time, Abi and some of those lawyers who come here. I mean, I call them baby lawyers anyway. I told one of them, or a few of them, I said, come. It is not my decision, your decision. There is no law in Nigeria that determines how DNA is going to be granted by any judge upon applied. If you can show me any law in Nigeria that says that because some certain persons apply for something, they must get it. It's not like that. Let's say you travel to, if you look at Section 63, Child Right Act, that is a different case that talks about disputing fathers. It didn't talk about a case where the real father is dead. There are so many different cases and so many ways, so many reasons why DNA can be requested. There is not only one way in which DNA can be requested. It could be so many different reasons presented before the judge. So now let's look at Section 63, sub 1 and 2 of that Child Right Act. It talks about the dispute between two fathers, right? Now let's say me, I am married to your ex-girlfriend. Travel. I, Papa Rhino, married to your ex-girlfriend. And your ex-girlfriend was already pregnant when I married her. Okay? So you now, later on, you realize that your ex-girlfriend is married to Papa Rhino and she's giving birth. And you now came back that, you want that child. Okay? If the wife said no, it's Papa Rhino's child, that I don't want to do. Papa Rhino is rich, is fresh, okay, and soft and peaceful. The child is Papa Rhino, but truly, that child belongs to you. But the woman refused that she will not do DNA to you. You know, you have one option. You can't force her. is to go to court, right? To request. Now, when you go to court, just because you are claiming to be disputing father, you will give all your reasons to court why you need DNA, and that is still not guaranteed that the court must approve it. Let that one be sink in our brain first. So it doesn't matter who requests for it. What matters is the reason that you have presented before the judge that she's convinced about, that satisfies the best interest of that child and that best resolve the case, because the court is there to mediate. It's not a tool for anybody. It's not absolute. It can be bent because of future reoccurrence, so that this doesn't happen again. In the court, they are not robots. They don't just act automatic. They are human beings who are considerate at all levels. So I don't know whether this makes some sense to you, that all this notion of saying that Baba doesn't have any right, throw that away. It doesn't exist.
No, Papa, no, I did not. When I started my statement, I said according to customary law, if Baba wants to welcome the child, Baba can go to court. I'm not saying Baba did not have right. I'm only talking where we have different perspectives concerning the judgment. Which I said that is my own opinion concerning the judgment.
What is your advice? What is your advice to people who keep saying Baba does not have right? It cannot be granted. Under what?
Before there can be a hearing in a court, I believe there are grounds, and those grounds will be examined before they can even give you a lawsuit number or something like that. So if you don't have a let me say, if you don't have a chance, that case will just be thrown away even before there is an hearing. So they might not even grant.
Don't waste the resources on the case.
What do you say?
I said the court won't waste their resources on the case.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. So if and when the case was presented to the court, I don't know. There was a day you were reading the petition paper, and one of the section of the law that was quoted by the son that took the case to court was the child. I think the child has right for the child to know who the father is. I think that was the art the man using suing Wunmi for the DNA. No, the son that took the case to court.
No, they didn't use son. It was a barrister.
Okay, it was a barrister. So
that was not son.
I think it was Sanshituda.
No. It was already in case before Sanshito came.
Okay. So
where did you read this? Where did you read this? Where?
It was you that read it here now.
No. I never read anything to you. That I only teach. I explain. Okay, the procedures to file such application. There is a need for an affidavit where the real reasons why the father needs that is going to be done. An affidavit is going to accompany the application, and then the court will consider that, look into it, and then summon the other party. I talk about it, and in line of defense, I talk about Section 167, child born into marriage belongs to the family. I talk about 63 to 67. I talk about Section 33 Marriage Act. Traditional marriages. But again, in all of those sections, I came up with objectives. I said there is no direct legislation, there is no direct law that legislates the request of DNA, how to request it in Nigeria. There is no direct law. Okay, because I also consult from lawyers. I give them these cases as case study. Let's look at previous past cases that looks like this. And there's been none so far. It's a new case. It's a new case to learn. Okay? There is no such where you will never find it in the Nigerian judicial history whatsoever. It doesn't exist. Okay? So what most lawyers concluded was that there is no direct law. There is no legislation on the DNA matters in Nigeria. But what exists is that all paternity issues are regarded as family matter. The same way you and your wife, you fight, okay, and then you go to family court, they resolve it. That is how they see paternity too. So all this child right all this, it may even be irrelevant before the magistrate that is sitting there. Don't forget, this case is at a family court, family who understand family settings and the pains and the worries of family. That's where the case is. So they are trying to resolve the family problem. That's why the court is there. They're not going to allow the court to be a tool for one particular individual to take advantage of another person. They're going to resolve it. Does DNA kill? With DNA, things will even be simplified. It's scientific. It doesn't fail. It's 100%. If the sample of mohbad is taken and matched with that baby, if mohbad is not the biological father, it's very simple. Okay? And then Wunmi walks away with the baby. It's simple. And in whatever other ways, because it's going to affect so many other ways. Inheritance is going to help make some relief in the inheritance. We're going to know that, okay, the inheritance is not going to come to this child. It's going to go to the brothers of mohbad, like Adora, Blessing. If they are not involved in mohbad's death,